Story number 2. The Switch 2 will have an 8-inch LCD screen, according to an analyst. Omida analyst Hiroshi Hayase says the next console is the main reason why shipments of amusement displays, which me and you call screens, have been doubled in 2024. These are the Donnies that are plugged into the actual factories that are making these things. So you imagine this is the smoking gun. This is how it goes. I, for one, am annoyed but not surprised that we're going back to shitty LCD. Chris, as a man with an 8-inch LCD, if you know what I'm saying, how do you feel about this?
Just trying to think of the acronym that LCD stands for, but we'll probably leave it there. I can get the L, the C, but the D's. I don't mind. Like I obviously I prefer OLED screens to LED screens, LCD screens, or whatever the hell it is. But I don't think the difference is enormous enough that I'm not going to get a Switch 2 or whatever it ends up being called. Like it'll be disappointing. But like the first Steam Deck had a perfectly fine screen, I thought. The first Switch, even, I thought the screen's fine. If that means an update a few years down the line, then so be it. But I would rather get a slightly cheaper system, because if that was an OLED screen and an 8-inch screen, and the current Switch OLED is 7-inch screen, and I'm reliably informed that 1 inch makes a lot of difference. So the like an 8-inch OLED would ramp that price up even further than it's probably already going to be. The suggestions are already that it's going to cost at least $100 more than the Switch did at launch, and that's not with an OLED screen. So you can only imagine how much more that would be ramped up if it came out all singing and all dancing. So
my problem is I want the option. I mean, I don't pay for games, obviously, but I want the option that a theoretical Jordan would, because I would pay £100 more for a better screen. Because the problem is, once you see an OLED Switch, my partner's got an original Switch, you go back and you're like,
no, you're
get
right.
Dirt out of my eyes, I want to die here. The only counterpoint is the PSP, the PlayStation Portal, is an LCD screen, and that's nice. I think my main issue is the bezel. Like, you know how the bezel on the original Switch screen, it's got these massive black bars. It's like you've got glaucoma. If it's a tip to tip 8-inch LCD screen, it could be okay. Jade, if given the option, would you go for the OLED version of the Switch 2, or are you just going to accept this LCD nonsense?
I'd go OLED, because having played the Switch OLED primarily now, it is hard to go back. But at the same time, I dock my Switch most of the time, so it's not the end of the world, it being an LCD. So long as it's like backwards compatible and doesn't screw me over in terms of games and stuff, I guess I don't mind. But this just gives Nintendo that opportunity to go, like, a year down the line, oh, and here's the OLED model if you fancy it. And because we're all dickheads, we'll all buy that anyway.
Oh,
let me tell you, I don't care if it's got a dot matrix screen. I just want Nintendo to put achievements in the bloody thing.
And themes for the bloody user interface.
Themes as well. Integrate a Game Boy camera if you need to. Just give me my achievements.
I so totally agree that the Switch 2 should have achievements. The amount of the sound library that they have that they could choose as their achievement noise, like, it's going to be
they could be
banger.
different for each franchise as well. Like,
exactly. Like, it could be something special. The integrity of them does not matter. I just want to have I like having a roadmap of, I've finished this game, what are some suggested things I could go and do to, like, fill up this little bar.
As much as I love the Switch, it is the least Nintendo system. There's nothing fun about it when you switch it on, and I can understand maybe why, because the Wii U was so bogged down with shenanigans that the thing took 4 months to load up every time you turned it on. So I get it that this is a streamlined, quick way of loading everything, but imagine the stuff they could do with achievements that could actually genuinely be more than just a running tally of kind of accomplishments. So they could do so much kind of clever stuff with that, whether it's like unlocking things for your front end or whatever. It's so to speak. But yeah, I think it's. I would just love to see what they do with it, because it wouldn't just be straightforward. It would be something quite clever, and they're missing out in terms of multi-platform games as well. The number of Xbox games I buy instead of PlayStation, purely because I started collecting achievements before I collected trophies, and so given the choice between two identical games, I'll get the Xbox version every time. If Nintendo starts doing that, I might switch to Nintendo instead and start again from that.
Oh God, same. That's a scary thought. Imagine.
I was an achievement boy until my third red ringed console made me like completely swear off Xbox and get a PS3, and I didn't have the foresight to like remember my Xbox Live login or anything like that. So when I eventually got an Xbox One for Titanfall, I just started a new account. So my achievements don't feel like they mean much, because I had like was it Seriously, the Gears one, the one for getting like 60 billion kills or whatever. Like I had all that stuff. I did all that pish. And now all my greatest achievements, or trophies if you will, are on PlayStation, such as the Platinum Trophy for the Green Lantern game.
A red ring's a sore one to take.
It's the worst. 3 red rings? I mean...
What a week.
I know. Couldn't sit down.